Right then, welcome back. And yes, we're going to do a setup on this. The 1995 Honda NSR250R race bike. Yes, very, very poor hand at Scrabble. 252 strokes passed me by. Completely missed them. Wasn't really something I lusted after. Wasn't really my kind of thing. It was all CBR 400s, ZXR 400s and stuff like that. I didn't really get the whole two-stroke thing. Motocross bikes, absolutely, but not road bikes. Setup-wise, that's where we ended up. Stiff in the front, soft in the rear. Anti-wheelie, use it on launch, it doesn't need it after that. Engine braking 2 or 3, whatever your poison is, and don't use traction. Softs all round. Pros, apex speed, 250 race bike. Of course, it's got plenty of apex speed. However, we've made a setup that makes that work. Transitional speed as well, from side to side, so from full left lean to full right lean. It's quite quick, hence the stiff front end. Short braking zones, we'll cover that when we get to Mugello. Cons, it's flighty. Because the front's stiff, it can get a little bit rock and roll. You've just got to be nice to it. Spiky, it will spit you off because we can't get a hot, warm rear tyre. And that's the last point. It's hard to get tyres hot. The front isn't too bad. The rear, it did not matter what I did. It just does not have enough go to transfer the weight and energy into the rear tyre. So short of slamming the rear brake on everywhere, I wasn't quite sure how, what, where or why to put heat into the rear tyre. But we'll go through the journey that I went on because people have said they quite like the in-depth ones, and this is in-depth. We're going to go deep. I have used the bike precisely 0 times before. So I went in, did a 2 and 8, and I'm saying to myself, that's not going to work, that's not going to work, that's not going to work. I wasn't 100% correct. It confused me a little bit, because normally if a tyre's cold, you take spring rate and compression off. But for some reason on this, you added spring rate and it worked and made the tyre hotter. But yeah, it might just be that it's a bit of a rideism with regards to the bike and a few bits and bobs. But I mean, I kind of think I know why, but we haven't got long enough to talk about now. Race-wise, we ended up chasing some big fat pig Harleys. You can see the bike moving about. Now I stupidly, genuine mistake, left mediums on. I thought it was on softs, it was on mediums. You can see it stepping out, you can see it doesn't want to go where I want it to go, and the rear tyre is colder than an Arctic winter. And yeah, we ended up second. I wasn't really fussed about the win. We've done all the events before. We went back when it was sunny and warm and dry, and I've zoomed in, so forgive me, so things are a bit clearer. And I started mucking about. So I took 2 off the front and rear spring hardness. I took 2 off the front comp and rebound, and I took 1 off the rear rebound and comp, and we ended up on a 47.1 with a very, very warm front tyre, and I'm not really interested rear tyre. So I've got to move some energy about. So to me, if the front's getting warm, add spring rate. Agreed? Agreed. Add spring rate, add compression. Why? Well, it's a stiffer spring, but you still want the weight transfer, so you increase compression because you want it to move faster. So you're effectively opening the hole that the oil flows through to allow it to compress. And we went, yeah, not really any quicker, and we ended up with a slightly warmer front tyre, so I went back. I thought, well, I'll add more spring rate then. So I added more front spring hardness, more rebound, more compression damping to get it to move about a bit quicker, to keep the energy going forwards and backwards. And I put 1 on the rear compression because I thought, well, if I'm sticking a load of spring rate and everything on the front, then the back's got to be able to move as well. Otherwise, we're just going to end up with a front end that'll pogo about. And it went a bit quicker, 46.8. Front tyre still warm. The mind does boggle. I thought, is it the gearing? Is the gearing too long? Why am I not seeing the incremental increase in my setups? Is the gearing too long? Is it just not pulling it? Am I going as fast as I can because the gears won't pull any more? The bike hasn't got any more power? But went back in, I thought, well, I'll increase the front end right up. And the tyre just got warmer. Now, I think we were going a bit quicker. I mean, the overall time wasn't any faster, but I think we were perhaps running into corners a bit quicker, and I was misleading myself by saying, oh, well, the tyre's getting warmer, doing nothing about it. So what I ended up doing is put a medium on. Now, sometimes you can reach the limit of the tyre and all you do is make it hotter. I get that. I don't believe the physics engine is that complicated that it would go, no, you are at the limit of the tyre, anything else you do won't make any difference. I just think, again, perhaps a combination of the bike and the soft tyre and the track, that was it. That's all that soft tyre was prepared to give. So I went to a medium, we saw an improvement well, I won't say straight away, it took me a little while to dial in to the medium tyre. That bump was much better in that transition from the GP to the Indy circuit. Yes, the front tyre's warm, but it's only yellow. It's not like ambery orange like it was before. And the rear tyre's finally woken up. Well, I say woken up. The alarm's gone off. It's not out of bed yet. And we ended up on a 46.513, which is only a smidge faster, but a smidge is sometimes all you need. So yeah, we did a lot of laps. We did plenty of laps. 46.5, potential best was a 46.3. And when we went and I'd look at the leaderboards, I wasn't really expecting anything because it's not the fastest 252 stroke, and the Aprilia is. And we're third. And I was like, ooh, 46.3. That would nearly just about put us second. Oof. Am I going to go back there with a Honda? No, probably not. A lot of Brits in that list, isn't there? That's surprising. No, I'm not going to go back. I'm going to go back with the Aprilia, probably at some point. Next track, Mugello in the wet. If you can warm a medium front up and a soft rear, there's a fair chance you can warm a set of wets up. Nope, was not interested. The bike was awful, sliding about, slippy, nasty, cold, just not fun at all. And the Harleys were coming at us down the straights because we were flat out at about 120. And I thought, well, it's the lack of thermal energy. The sun's not out, the track's not warm. Do we think the physics model takes into account? No, it doesn't, not one bit. Again, we did loads of laps. And I'm genuinely upset that sunshine makes no difference. Ambient temperature does. 26 degrees is 26 degrees apparently, but that's the braking zone for the big bikes, your big stuff, your Superleggeras and Panigales. That's your braking zone for your medium stuff, your 600s and older 750s and bits and bobs. Braking zone for the 250? Yes, 50 metres. Go on, Mr. NSR, you little hero. I thought it was going straight onto the gravel. No, wasn't even fussed, didn't care. Straight round, no problem, on you go. What else would you like me to do? A little bit wide there, could have perhaps tucked it in a bit tighter to the curb, but you tuck in tight to that curb, and that means the turn 3 is much nicer as well, so you lose time on both if you run wide. Over the curbs, doesn't matter. Through 4 into 5, again over curves, doesn't matter. It doesn't give me a foul lap, so I kept taking advantage of that. And then down the hill, through Casanova, down the hill. Now this transition is not very nice because you're going over paint through 7. And it just tends to move about there. You can run wide onto the grass, but all in all it wasn't too bad, apart from the snazzy paint job that apparently the bike gets when you're using it. I'm not quite sure why, but 57.7, so I went third at Brands Hatch. We've gone third here as well, 57.758, 0.2 of a second. I'm always say I'll go back. I won't go back. I've done it now. I've made a note on my little spreadsheet that I've got for all my lap time, so I'm not going to go back, and I'm probably not going to use bike there again. Cadwell Club, I hate this track. I like Cadwell as a whole, but I don't like the bit that the club circuit is made up of. Race-wise, again, stone cold rear tyre. The Harleys were being a bit rough. They were ganging up on me, so there was a little bit of elbowing and bumping and barging going on. Again, I'll put all the race replays out so you can have a look at them. But yeah, we won 102.8, and I was like, it didn't feel like a particularly quick what? 101.9, 102.8 would have put us third. There's only 9 people in the leaderboard. My God, good sir, get yourself a bike and go and do Cadwell Club on a 250 race bike. Get your name on that first page. But we went back, mucked about, didn't make any changes. I was mucking about with this first corner, that transition from one side of the track to the awful. And then this is the bit I don't like, up the hill. So from Coppice all the way down the park straight to like the right hand bend at the bottom, I have no interest or joy in this part of the track. Don't know why. Charlie's down the straight. It's an iconic track. I'm not interested. We've done a 101.7 already, which means we're top, and we're nearly 0.7 of a second faster. So there is latent pace in this track on 250 race bikes. Would the Aprilia go faster? Probably. Have I tried it yet? No. Will I? Probably. No promises. Through the gooseneck, lovely corner like that. Down the hill. Is Mansfield next? No, still the gooseneck. Anyway, I'm a bit confused. Gooseneck 1, gooseneck 2, different. But anyway, through the gooseneck, across the line, little stopper to celebrate, and we ended up on a 1 minute .894, fastest lap as well. No ideal lap. That was the ideal lap. We could not have gone any faster according to the chart in front of my eyes right now, and that would have put, it's going to put us first, and I will bask in my glory for the whole 10 minutes after this video comes out and Meerkat goes on and does like a 57 twat. I mean that in the nicest possible way, but just calm yourself down, all right? Just chill. Donington National next. Now, I don't particularly get on too well with Donington. Don't know why. I like the place. Like going watching bike racing there, like riding around it, but for some reason you either win by 3,000 miles or you don't win. There's no in between. Bikes either love the crane curves or they don't, and then all the corners afterwards, which are increasingly bumpier and tighter, the bikes just don't seem to like. We went back and did a 110.3. Now, there was a 109 somewhere in there, and I really, really tried, and then I got annoyed, and the noise of the bikes was doing my head in, and I just thought, no, I'm not going to go anymore. Late braking into Redgate, through the bump, get on the gas, and the bike will take a certain amount of abuse. I did say it's flighty, and it is. If you play with your feet and you're quite ham-fisted and you're basically going from 0 to 100 on all the controls, it's going to spit you off. You have to have a little bit of a delicate touch. It's a 250 race bike. It doesn't require a massive amount of input. Just caress it, nice and gentle. I will not give you a sexual innuendo because we're above that now. It's 2023, we're going to stop doing them. But you can just see caressing the bike. I can't say that word without... Anyway, caressing the bike through corners, and it'll just go and nice and gentle on the gas. Try not to go from a closed throttle to full throttle. Pour the throttle in nice and gentle, give it a little squeeze, and then get on. Because if you're too heavy-handed and you're too ham-fisted, it will do this to you. As I'm coming out the chicane, I go straight to full gas, it spits me sideways and pulls a wheelie, and I thought for certain we were going into the fence. Somehow, nothing I did, I just sat and panicked. It went across the line, and we did all right. And it's third. So we've gone third at Brands, third at Mugello, first at Cadwell, third at Donington. I don't think that's too bad. A little 250, a little stroker. Last one, Algarve. Now, I'll call it Algarve once and then refer to it as Portimao here and after because it's, well, to me it's the Portimao circuit. Race-wise, 3 laps. I think that is an excessively long lap/race for a 250 bike. It's the 250 World Trophy we're doing in the Superbike League in the career. I'm just mimicking the events because I'm sad that I've made a note of them all so I can replicate the events without having to do career mode with 12 riders and not 20. But I think that's a long race. It was getting a bit dull by the end, he says, and then goes back and does 14 laps in testing with a 154.5. Now, it was saying a 153, but I couldn't get near that. No matter how hard I tried, I could not get near that 153 again. Down the hill, normally you're braking at the top of the hill. This thing, you're nearly at the bottom of the hill before you put the brakes on because it stops on a tanner, as my dad would have said. But anyway, it turns in, it holds a line. Bumps wise, it copes all right. We've played with the back end, so it boings. There's no point having springy bits if they don't boing. They've got to boing, otherwise there's no point having them. But down the hill, into the hairpin, on the brakes, look, just lifting the rear off the floor. Very, very photogenic. If you're on a track day riding this, you for sure get your picture on the poster for the next one. Up the hill, over the brow, into a little bit bumpy, a little bit wide. There's a bit of time on the table there, I get that. And then into 9. I didn't know that was called Samsung. All those laps I've done on this track, I didn't know that corner, turn 9 was called Samsung. But anyway, over the brow, will it wheelie? No, of course it won't. Through Craig Jones, flat out, don't even lift. Just absolutely flat out. Take a bit of curve as well, it's no worries. The bike will let you do it. Wait till you get to the top of the hill, brake, little bit of a stoppie again. Nice. Through 11. Then down the hill again, more bumps through 12. As long as you don't hit the curb, you'll be alright. You can watch the swing arm doing its thing. And then up towards 13, watch for the camber dropping off and all that. We talked about that on track guides. And then we're just going to zip through the corners. We're going to go down the hill, round the last bend, and we can see the swing arm doing its... Well, the swing arm. We can see the rear shock doing its thing. Getting a right good pump on. Go on, Mr. Swing Arm. Yes, she loves it. But anyway... Down the straight, which will speed up, and we went across in I don't even know, 154.549. Not far away from the leader, a couple of hundredths, but again, that's third, first, third, second. I'll take that. That, I think, is spot on for a little 250. That I just thought I'll do that and we'll give it a go. Pros and cons, I think we've covered all them off. Rear tyre, it will not get warm. I mean, if you can find a way to do it and keep the lap times, by all means, let me know and we'll have a little bit of a play with it. Soft tyres, I mean, I know I used a medium front at Brands, but I just think that was a glitch in the game more than anything. And there you go. I'll leave you with a few more minutes of perving on a piece of HRC goodness. Next time, I'm going to pull my races out. We're going to do a track guide. What track guide are we doing? In fact, we're going to do Portimao, that car track that we've just done. And then the next bike we're going to do is a Ducati 998R, 2002 Ducati 998R. I have done the races. How many? Not many. 1, 2, only 3. And then we're doing a Suzuki GSX-R 600. But there you go. I know I've been distracted recently and I apologise, but I will keep doing setups. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, and fingers crossed I will see you next time. Take care, stay safe, peace.